parking spot.
So where are we right now?
We are in the Grand Canyon.
What was the reason we came here to Grand Canyon?
One of the reasons that we came to the Grand Canyon was to fulfill a childhood dream of mine, and I've always wanted to hike down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. People made it sound really hard, and I like challenges, so one of the reasons we came here is to allow myself the opportunity to hike down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
To explore it, right? To have a great experience.
Not to necessarily explore it, more to just
to do it.
to do it.
Just to have like in your bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those bucket list things, like swim to San Francisco from Alcatraz, win Wildflower, go to the World Championships in Australia. Just one of those things.
So it's kind of like connected to your athletic career, some kind of type of your character that you want to pursue, your fitness, and how you can do better and be better version of yourself.
Yeah, I think you could say that. I think that part of what fulfills me is challenges that scare other people, and
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm 30 years old, and I'm not going to get any younger, and some might say that I'm getting close or maybe in the prime of my life. So why not do things that the average person probably wouldn't do or can't do?
Or maybe they don't have enough opportunity, or maybe don't have enough motivation to do it, right? I also heard that one of your reasons was to bring Plato, the cat, to Grand Canyon because you felt so sorry for him that he was always stuck inside the house, right? How did you feel about him being today at Grand Canyon?
So yeah, definitely I came to the Grand Canyon also to allow our cat Plato the opportunity to explore the, I don't know if you can see him, his head's right there, but to explore the world. It's one of those things where I feel bad for cats when they're stuck inside all the time, and I wanted to give our cat.
Plus, Plato has a lot of experience of traveling in the past. He was traveling in Europe, all over United States, so he's pretty fit and ready for that, right?
Yeah, but Plato is definitely not coming with me
tomorrow
to the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
All right. So, some people might consider that this is crazy idea that you want to do everything in one day all by yourself. But I think it's a good idea. What do you say to other people that think that this must be not a good idea? What would you tell other people about it?
Well, first off, I appreciate that you think it's a good idea. That's one of the reasons you're my wife. But, I've talked to probably 15 people in person. And
today, while we were on the trail.
Yeah, today. And most of them said, don't try it. On my way to the bus, about to get in the mouth of Grand Canyon. I talked to a park ranger. He said, he would err on the side of caution and just take it hour by hour and see where you're going to be. And that's sort of where I am. I'm going to track the time, and I would never put myself
in a danger
into that position. And anyone that calls, I love this saying that some people say. It says, ordinary people call extraordinary people crazy. Hey, 5:15 a.m. Have that ice cream shop right at the entrance of the trailhead right behind me. Here we go. Start the timer. 5:15. And so I believe that everything has its level of risk, and controlling risk management is really what life is all about. The better you know something, the more you can feel comfortable managing risk. And I've been racing for a little while now, and I feel like I can manage risk well, and I can feel my body. So okay, here's the beginning of sunrise. Here I am on the trail. If you look off that way into the abyss.
Yeah, and I want to add something, since I've been knowing you for 5.5 years, and you have amazing background in triathlon, it's endurance training. Plus, we lived in Boulder, Colorado, which has a high elevation. I've been training there really hard for about 20 hours a week. So you do have like a great background. So I think people who you talk today probably don't know who you are. They don't know your background, that you've been racing a triathlon, and now you do the track bike, right? So they don't know what kind of fitness you have, because fitness that you've built, you have built for the past like 13, 15 years, right? It's really high. It's high. A person has
I'm semi. Sorry to interrupt. I'm semi-retired right now, and I haven't done a race in over a year.
Yeah, but you still have that background. So if we're gonna compare some other person that never done triathlon, Ironman races, that never lived at the high elevation like Boulder and trained there, right, for 2 years. So you and someone else will probably have like a different fitness level, even though you not competed for the past 2 years, right?
Yeah.
You still have higher fitness level.
Yeah, I mean, I still work out, I still swim, I still bike, I still run.
So I think you should be fine. So I think those people that might consider this crazy, they just don't know your background. They don't know who you are.
It's the first water aid station, 15 minutes in.
So that's what I think. That's why I think that for you, it's sort of like a challenge to test the waters, like you call it, like to see where you are right now and how far you can go.
And we are at 7,200 feet elevation. We do also have to keep in mind that it does get hotter, about 20 degrees as we go down. So if it's 80 degrees at the top, it's going to be 100 degrees.
I thought it's opposite. Usually the hot goes up.
In this particular situation,
it's different.
It's hotter, yeah.
Yeah.
Sunrise just surfaced. The rock just showed itself, and I am about 35 minutes in, just past first hikers. They were over an hour in, so almost double speed, so right on pace. How long is the trail from Bright Angel entry to bottom?
Yeah.
It's approximately 16 to 17 miles, and
both ways or one way?
Round trip.
Round trip. Okay,
Round
so
trip.
it's 8 miles down and 8 miles up.
Yeah, well, about 8.5 to 9.5, depending on who you talk to and the route you take. And the way I see it is, I feel comfortable right now to run a half marathon, and I'm thinking, okay, conservatively speaking, if I, ran a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles, it should take me about 90 minutes. Of course, I'm going to be running downhill, and it's only going to be approximately 9 miles. So I'm thinking, I obviously don't want to rush. I don't want to trip.
You're not going to run, though.
I'm going to jog. I'm going to jog, for sure. Okay, mile 3, poopy time. Take off the pants, get back on the road. My hopes are dwindling, averaging about 15 minutes per mile. And I feel like that 9 miles should only take me 90 minutes tops, because the technicality of the stairs and the steps and the turns.
Yeah, it's like sorry that I interrupted you. It's like today when we hiked, the stairs, they're not even, and some of them you have to really look down because you don't want to twist your ankle or bump your foot somewhere, because it's very like sketchy. Some parts are like going uphill, but some parts, because they were kind of putting some rocks and some, I don't know, like some wood just to make it look like little stairs, that's kind of messes up a little bit. So I think you should be like really keeping your eyes down as well, not just looking around, right? And how many hours do you estimate to do everything in one day?
My goal is to get on the trail as close to 5 a.m. as possible and to be back up here so we can check out of our beautiful campsite, which, you know, it's dark right now, otherwise I'd share. We're just surrounded by forest and Mather Campground. It's beautiful. We're at the edge, one of the furthest campsites out, the wildlife all around us. So I'm thinking from here all the way down to the Phantom Ranch and back up, I want to say 5.5 hours.
Okay, and how did you estimate that will take that long, 5.5 hours? How did you count that is going to take you that long?
You know, it's never going to be exact, but going back to a half marathon at 1:30 and my current fitness level at sea level, you know, or even at elevation for that matter, at Boulder, which is a mile high, I can run a 1:30 half.
But you're not running here.
So let's say the way down is 13 miles, even though it's only 9.
No, it's not 13. It's
Yeah,
like
but I'm
8.
just saying, just to make it harder.
Yeah, okay.
Right? That should only take me an hour and a half.
All right, busted out the headphones, making up some ground from the first 3 miles, seeing a lot of happy people and beautiful views. So let's see if I can make up about 7 more minutes over the next 3 miles.
To get down, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. Now, everyone I talked to said it takes a little bit longer than twice as long to come up.
Yeah, like
So
today we...
if it takes me 90 minutes to get down, that means it's going to take me how long to get up? 3 hours, which is 4.5 hours. And obviously I'm going to be leaving here in the morning, which would probably take me 30 minutes to get to the trailhead.
What time are you leaving?
I'm going to probably leave here at around 4:50.
4:50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe sooner.
And you said you're gonna
AM.
jog all the way there, or you're gonna take a bus? Because there are some buses, Blue Line.
I'm going to take the 5 a.m. bus from Mather Campground at the bottom of Mather Campground where the kiosk is. And I'm going to take that bus to Bright Angel Trailhead. Buses start at 5 a.m.
Okay, cool. And just want to mention that it does say try not to do everything in one day when you get the paper information when you go to the camping, right?
Yeah,
But
it does.
just like I mentioned before, if that would be an average person or person who has some, let's say, weaknesses like weak heart or some past injuries, so that would be not a good idea. But since you're fit, I'm wishing you luck to do that. So I have a couple more questions. What makes you think you can do this?
What makes me think? What gives me the audacity to
You
think that I can
say
do
that,
this?
So yeah.
Well, I'm nervous. I mean, I don't know I can do it.
6:29 a.m. Made it to the first campground, surrounded by beautiful Grand Canyon, and I only have about another 30 minutes of running before I get to the point of no return. So a little bit behind where I want to be, but then again, you never know. I could reach the bottom before we know it.
That's part of the reason I do these things is because it helps me feel better about myself and it helps me discover my limits. And I'm thinking, okay, if I can swim 1.2 miles and do 56 miles on a bike at 25 miles an hour with my heart rate at 52 to 162, which is booking it in 100-degree heat with followed by a half marathon, I don't think, 16 miles and 5,000 feet of elevation change is gonna stand in my way.
Yeah, so you mentioned, by the way, that you were talking about 9 miles going down, but I think you need to consider it's going to be 8 miles down and 8 miles up, and because there's elevation change, it's going to be harder to go up. That's why
Yes.
we saw today people like being completely exhausted and all that stuff. And even like today when we hiked a little bit down, so we went for 2.5 miles, and we went with Plato.
That's why when you get down, you should know that you should have 66% of your energy left. Again, if it takes me an hour and a half to get down, it's going to take me twice as long as it took me to get down to get up.
Yeah,
so it's going to take me 3 hours, which is 4.5 hours. So I need to conserve on my way down.
Yeah. But what I tried to say, like when we went down today, it was for 2.5 miles, and I carried Plato with backpack and all this stuff. It was like 12 pounds. And I was still feeling good on the way up, and I feel like it's possible to do it. And when we calculated, it was actually taking us less than twice time that we went down.
Yes.
Even though we had the stops because people were questioning us about the cat, and you had the questions about how was it going down and all that stuff, but we still managed it walking with the cat. I think that as long as you conserve with the energy, as long as you careful with your food intake and with your nutrition intake.
Made up some time. I feel good. Just trying to stay on top of nutrition. That means a gulp every 3 to 5 minutes and a little block. Go by feel, but maybe every 10 minutes or so. And just keep on trucking and try to stop and smell the roses. Because I sort of feel a little bit the first sign of fatigue.
My next question is, what are you bringing with you in your backpack? You probably already halfway packed up or maybe completely packed up. So what are you taking with you?
Let's see here. Definitely my hat, my military hat that has a brim on it. My sunglasses. I'm going to wear a regular moisture wicking shirt similar to this. I'm going to wear an ultralight windbreaker. I'm going to be wearing obviously my moisture wicking boxers. Then on top of that, I'm going to have my short shorts that are made for running with the high-waisted slits on there. But in the morning, since it might only be 43 degrees Fahrenheit and then jump 40 degrees, and as the sun goes up, then I'm ready to take off the leggings that I'm going to have on over the shorts, which are going to be sort of like black sweat.
So this is what slows me down. I went up that path. It dead ends over there, probably a place for people to take a piss. But the well-defined track looks like it goes right into a river. So I think I need to keep going over there. Yeah, I think I see the trail.
Yeah. And what about nutrition? What you bring with you for nutrition?
Well, nutrition, I'm going to bring 5 Clif block packages. You're supposed to have 1 package every hour.
You mean those chews things like
the Clif blocks. They didn't have gels at the store.
It's electrolytes.
So, and they have 50 milligrams of caffeine in them. So I'm going to be having a pack about every 45 minutes to an hour. I have a Clif bar. I have 3 liters of water. I'll be bringing 2 Gatorades, and then also I'll have a handful of fast carbohydrates, jelly beans. So, but I forgot also I'm going to be bringing a selfie stick. I'm going to be bringing...
Who you borrowed from me, right?
a flashlight. I will be bringing my camera and a selfie stick.
7 a.m. I've been on it for an hour and 45 minutes. My timer just went off. That means it's the point of no return. That means I'm going to check out on time. Theoretically speaking, if it takes me twice as long to go up, then I need to turn around here to get back before 11. What I'm going to do, since 7 o'clock, I'm going to give my timer another 15 minutes, and then that means I instantly add 30 minutes going up. So just one 15-minute decision turns into 45 minutes total. So you got to be careful about that. It's the only leeway that I have. I feel pretty good. We'll give it a go.
Also the mirror that you borrowed from me.
And a mirror, just in case of an emergency.
Yeah, okay. Are you going to have a coffee in the morning, or are you going to go on empty stomach?
I'm definitely going to have a coffee in the morning, yes.
And no cookies, nothing?
No cookies, no nothing. I'm going to start the workout fasted because we're going to have a big dinner tonight.
Yeah, I want to mention that Austin was always going on the run or somewhere kind of fasting himself, but as far as I know, he used to have like at least coffee was half and half and a little bit of a cookie.
Yeah.
So...
might have a little bit of a...
All right, 7:10, my turnaround spot, and I'm sorry to say, I made it! Woo! Here's the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
But we do have salmon and rice on the stove, so we do need to wrap up
so we
the
have
interview.
to wrap up for dinner. All right, thank you, Austin, for the conversation and letting me ask you those questions. Good luck you tomorrow.
Thank you.
I believe in you. Do your best.
Thank you.
Be safe.
I'll give you an update once I get back. Because if I don't make it back, you'll be stranded here alone.
I will go to the ranger station.
She's going to go to the ranger station at 11:30 for my
But we're not thinking about bad things. We're thinking
Thanks
about
for
good
watching.
things.
Wish me luck.
What do you say I make it official and I touch the water? Try to get out of here by 7:15. That gives me 3 hours and 45 minutes to make it up to the top. Still cut and very tight. We will make it happen. Sun is just about to come out over that ledge and get the whole valley. There we have it. (7:13) officially touched the water, and it took me approximately an hour and 55 minutes. That's where I'm going. Right there. About 20 minutes into walking up. Gone through 2.5 of these approximately, and ate the Cliff Bar. Drank about half of my water. I have 2 Gatorades, so hopefully I can tap into those when I'm not feeling too hot in about 2.5 to 3 hours for the final leg. I'm still in the shade the whole time. I'm getting prepared mentally for the exposure and trying not to let my heart rate get above what I think is 152-ish. Slow down to a walk. Felt like I was gonna dry heave. Stomach's not feeling too great. Too much caffeine in the gels, I think. I took a deep breath, heart rate went up. You can do this. Over there's the bottom. I have this plateau. It's flat on top of there, and it's like 6 miles to the top with a huge flat spot for a really steep climb. I have to say that this spot is my favorite. Running down, nice and cool, water right next to the path. Lots of little animals, beautiful view, not overexposed. Something in dreams. 8:15 a.m. Just ran out of the 2.75 liters that I came with. I have not gone to pee yet. So I still have that face to climb up on 2 Gatorade bottles. It actually looks a lot bigger in person, so we'll see. How long do you think it would take to climb up that? A couple hours? Okay, so there's the plateau that I had to climb up originally. Making my way up to the face of the main rim. Whew. Might have went a little fast on my way back. Not wearing a heart rate monitor. Calves, left inner upper adductor. See inner leg muscle near the groin starting to cramp up. That's the muscle that you use from, if you're gonna roll your ankle to the outside, that's helps stabilize it. But, I just feel like there's less oxygen. Never Obviously, there's about 18% less at 7,000 feet. And just keep reciting mantras in my mind, being positive. Highs and lows come and go. Don't scold yourself for the negative, just push it aside and bring in the positive. Right after I made that last entry, I hit my toe on the front of a step. My right calf seized up completely. Whole tingling sensation down my back. I literally had to work hard to stretch it out, put as much force on it as possible. Whew. Feeling a little bit sick. I'm almost out of it. Let's see here. Canyon up behind me. Slow down to a crawl. Feeling like I need to sneeze. Starting to sway a little bit back and forth. Haven't felt this in a while. So here's the iconic cliff face. The overlook. Woo! And just gotta get up that. Spirits are high. Appetite's lost. But feeling ready to jog again. Around 9:40, Bright Angel Trail sign. Okay, that's it. 5:15 a.m. to what is now 9:48 a.m. So approximately 4.5 hours. The way back up only took 2.5 hours, much faster than I thought. That ice cream store that I started from at 5:15 a.m. It's about 100 meters in front of me. So there you have it. Went through all my nutrition except one water bottle, which I still have about 3/4 left. Really happy about that performance. It's from the south rim, touch the water, and all the way back up. Woo! Let me know what you think. Let me know if you know of anyone else who has done it faster. I'm sure there's people online that have done that multiple times. I can always try again in the future, but it's good to know what I'm capable of, and part of the reason I'm doing this is just to show everybody how to plan for it, how to gauge themselves. I was booking it the whole time. There was moments when I was walking and I had to change up the style of my walk 3 different ways because I was cramping in the calves, the quads, the adductors, the hip flexor for a second. So, and here we are. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully this little documentary helped you guys plan your trip to the Grand Canyon. Don't forget to smash that like, hit the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's hike this Grand Canyon. Till next time, it's your boy, Try Something. Look what's going on in my calf. Okay, I'm pulling up on the camper now. I'm gonna knock with an unfamiliar knock and see how she reacts. Victoria?
Wow, you're faster than I thought. Ooh.